Hello. It is almost 3 o'clock. I've just got back from work. I also did a shop because as much as Wayne obviously has been eating while he's been here, he doesn't eat the same stuff as me. So we had no eggs, no milk, and a couple of other things that I really wanted. So I've picked those up. I need to have some lunch because I haven't eaten. And in fact, all I've eaten today is one piece of bread with Biscoff after my run. I did have a coffee as well at some point, but like that's it. In fact, speaking of my run, let's go through that. I don't know what you could hear, because obviously I was whispering and I don't know what I told you, but essentially I woke up before 6 and I spent about 20 minutes. Well, first I tried to go back to sleep and I couldn't. And then I tried to think like, do I go for a run? Because I can. And I knew I wanted to go for one this afternoon, but I also knew I had a long list of things I wanted to do this afternoon. And I just thought like, I'm awake anyway, no one's going to be around. And like the air is a bit cooler, obviously, earlier in the morning. And it felt like it was going to be the perfect weather for it. Basically, there were a lot of reasons to go for a run, but I hadn't eaten and I didn't have any food that I could quickly eat. I only had like one piece of bread. And if I had that, I figured it would need longer to digest. So I said to myself, I'll just go for a short run. I'll aim for 3 kilometers, about 20 minutes, and really like not let myself do any longer, partly because I had not eaten and partly because I also wanted to be back on time to get changed and whatever else I wanted to do before work. Also, I had drunk very little. I had only drunk like a little bit during the night, but not even when I got up. Anyway, I got changed. This is not recommended. I wouldn't recommend going for a run without eating or drinking at all. And in fact, when I started, I did feel pretty good to begin with, but even like within, I would say 600 meters or something, I was like, is this a bad idea? And I could feel like my legs were weak, and it might also be from the jet lag, or from the fact that I haven't run in a few weeks. But I was just hyper aware of my body and like not passing out. But I went. And I pushed myself to 3, and it was a bit of a push. Actually, at first I really thought it was going to be until 2 and then walk the rest of the way home. But in fact, at first I thought it was going to be, I would push myself to 1.5k and then walk the rest, or walk a bit and then run again. But when I got to about 1.5k, I was suddenly feeling really good. So I was like, right, we can push ourselves to 2, maybe 3. And so I did push myself to 3, but the end of 3 was again that uphill. And I was really struggling even to get to 3 just because it was steep. But I said, we're going to keep running up this hill until I get to 3 and then I can walk the rest. And that's exactly what I did. And then I did run a tiny bit more, like the last 100 meters maybe. But like that was it. So I want to have a look, but I did already see that unless it's changed, but my average pace for the 3 kilometers was 6:59, which to me is pretty impressive considering I A, ran without eating or drinking, and B, that I walked for a bit. Even though I don't think I walked for very long. Like I think my overall distance was 3.4. So at most I walked 400 meters, probably 300. But still, that's cool to me that it's under 7 minutes per kilometer, even when I walked a little bit. So yeah, it was 3.41 kilometers, average pace 6:59, total time 23 minutes and 53 seconds. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. This doesn't sound real. Again, I was trying to go slow at the start because that's what they tell you to do. And again, I hadn't eaten. But no, my first kilometer was 6:17. And then the other, 2 kilometers and the 400 meters were all over 7. So that's why my pace is so low, because it was just a very, very, very quick first kilometer for me. There's the information once again. Enjoy it. So yeah, overall, like I'm so glad I did it, because again, sometimes for me runs are less about like actually doing the run or whatever, but more about proving something to myself. And in this case, I proved to myself that I can go for a run before work. Obviously, this did have jet lag helping me, but in theory, like especially at the job I work today, I'm always going to be starting, I think, at 8:30, and I need to leave home at like 8:20. I reckon, like normally for that, I would set my alarm at maybe 8:40, 7:40. So like if I got up at 7 and just went for a run, theoretically that's doable, even if it's short. Like why not? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see if I actually stick to it. But I am enjoying the summertime, I'll tell you that. Anyway, as I said, I have a lot to do and I've been chatting to you for a little while. So I am going to get started. I'm gonna have some lunch to begin with, although maybe I'll put away the shopping first, just so that I can put away the things that need to go in the fridge. And then I want to do about 2 hours of work from home for my job. I also want to unpack my case, as well as I've just collected some laundry, so I want to put that away. And also, I would really love to sing, ideally now before other people get home, but I'm not sure I'm going to have time for all of it. And then I have an audition tomorrow that I really need to have a look at and go through and whatever, and decide on what I'm wearing and all that. And then there are some other bits and bobs that I would like to do, but they're not as much of a priority. So I'm gonna crack on. I'll pop in when I can and when I have something to share. And until then. Hello. Lunch was a whole ordeal, but it's fine, and I did it, and then I did about an hour of work, also while eating a little bit. And then I went through the script for tomorrow, and then I tried to do some singing, but I'm not happy with it. I know I'm trying to be imperfect about it, but there's a difference between imperfect and not hitting a single note because I don't know the song well enough and because I haven't warmed up. So we're gonna leave that, we're gonna just put that aside. And I think now I'm gonna do the dishes, because not that there's that many, but I want to do the dishes, and then I want to wipe surfaces because everything just feels a little bit gross. And then I think I will do my clothes, I think. And then I will probably do another hour of work. I think that's sort of what I'm thinking at the moment. And then after I've done the hour of work, I'll go back to the script. I also really want to unpack so I can then decide what I'm going to wear tomorrow, because it's a very strange type of audition, I think. Like, I don't have a good sense of what I'm going to be doing. I've just been told I'll read from the script, but I don't know, like, I've been sent the entire script. So I don't know like which parts and whatever. And it's also something that's set in the past, so I want to make sure I don't look too modern, but I also want to look nice. It's a whole thing trying to decide an outfit. I may show you later today once I've decided, or tomorrow or whatever, but first I will do the things I just said I would, and I will try and maybe time-lapse some things just for fun. Hi. I think I'm going to call it there for now. I feel pretty good about what I've done, and there's not much left to do, but I just feel like I've run out of steam, and it's nearing 6, and that's the latest I told myself I would jump back on for the second hour, even though I can do it later, but that was for myself, so I want to stick to that. So what I'm going to do, as you may have noticed, there were a couple of things in the bag that weren't clothes, that I didn't deal with, and I don't want to deal with them right now. So I found this big tote bag. I've no idea where I got it from, but I've been using it a couple of times. My battery's about to run out. I'm just gonna dump everything in here so that at least the suitcase is clear so I can put it away. The camera died, but you know what I was gonna say. It's full now, I'm gonna put it away, goodbye. Hello, it's 8 o'clock and I've just finished work. I ended up working more than I had intended to, but actually I'm quite glad that I got done what I got done and I felt good about it, so that's great. And also, I'm definitely starting to feel tired, but I'm not hungry yet because I had such a late lunch. And by working, I feel like that's helped me, forced me to stay awake. So I'm grateful for that. I have an idea of what I want to wear for the audition tomorrow. It's my book dress because the shape of it is so perfect, and like the length and everything, but obviously the fabric is quite loud and I don't know if it's too distracting, but equally it could be memorable. So I've asked Wayne what he thinks, and we'll see what he says. I don't feel like I've got a good alternative though, but then equally I'm telling myself, like, surely what I wear isn't going to make or break whether or not I get the part, surely. And if I don't get the part because of it, then at least I can blame it on that rather than on my own talent or lack of. By the way, there was an audition I told you about weeks ago that might have affected my flight to Australia, and I kind of said I'll probably let you know either way. And I don't know if I did let you know, but actually what happened with that one is probably the best thing I could have asked for aside from, getting the parts, which is that they emailed me to say unfortunately the role had been cut, but that they would keep me in mind for future projects. So you know what? I'll take that. And not just that, because of, essentially I was prepared to pay the difference of the flight because I could change my flight for free. I just had to pay the difference of the cost, which at the time I thought, fine, it's going to be £100 or something, like maybe even 200, but that's fine. But between me auditioning for it and getting that email, the war broke out in the Middle East, which meant all the flight prices completely shot up. So actually, I probably would have made a loss if I had got the part. So really, honestly, best case scenario in the end, but I would have obviously liked the role. Anyway, we'll see how tomorrow goes. I am looking forward to it. It's again one, like I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but it's such a good, not just role, but like production, I feel. I don't know, obviously, like a lot of it, I don't know yet, like how it's actually gonna be performed. But I've read the script and the characters, and it's very up my street, is all I'll say. And again, this is one of those things where you may never hear me talk about it again. Well, you will tomorrow, but aside from that, or fingers crossed, there'll be exciting news in a few weeks, months, days, who knows, to be honest. Anyway, I feel absolutely fried, as you can probably tell. Like, it's been a super productive day, and I've really enjoyed today, but I can just feel that everything is hitting me now. And I've still got a couple of other things. Like, I've still got a long list of things I want to do. None of it is urgent, I don't think. And I don't know, I feel like some of it is quick. It's probably all quick, but I just need to do it. But the truth is, like, aside from the audition tomorrow and potentially 1 hour of work, I really don't have much tomorrow, and Shabbat doesn't even come in that early, so I should have time to go through. And also, the audition is at 1:45. Well, actually it's at 2, but they asked us to get there at 1:45. And I think it'll take me about an hour to get there, I don't know, give or take. So actually I'm only going to be leaving at the very earliest 12:30. But I feel like I've lost my morning. And that's especially silly because obviously this morning, because of my jet lag, I am waking up earlier. So I'll probably be up again around 6 or 7 tomorrow. And I'll have loads of hours in the morning to do stuff as well. But I just can't think about that because it's that thing where you have a thing in the day and then your whole day just like is focusing on that moment. So yeah, I am going to maybe, one of the things I want to do is book a couple of theatre shows for me and Wayne. So maybe I will do that. Or if I can't be bothered, I'm going to watch some YouTube because I downloaded like 8 videos, I think, for the plane, and I think I watched maybe 4. No, that's not right. I definitely had 6 or 7 left. So either I downloaded more to begin with or I watched less. But I have watched very little YouTube in the last month, actually, which is crazy because you would think in Australia I would have had loads of time to, but I just didn't. So I think I've got a watch later list of over 50 videos, and they're all quite long. So I'm going to just get started on watching that, maybe eat something. I do not feel hungry yet, but I also know that if I don't eat now, then I'm going to be too tired. Or maybe I'll just make myself a cup of tea. I feel like all of a sudden my voice is not at its finest. Oh, I still intend to read through the script again. Maybe I'll do that first, and then I'll have some tea and rest my voice. I don't know where this has come from. This wasn't after the singing, and it wasn't even after I read the script the first time. So I don't know. This has happened like while I've been working, and I haven't been speaking to anyone. So very odd, but I'll read the script again, go through it all, and then I will either have some tea or have supper, and then also watch some YouTube while I'm eating. And then probably have a reasonably early night. I need to still do Duolingo though. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. I'm gonna go. I don't know if I'll see you again. But I feel really happy with how today's been. Like, it's been a very good day. Although it is so funny to me that like I've now finally got reduced hours. I think I mentioned that already. And I just feel like I'm filling them up immediately. But that's fine. Like, at least it's my choice to fill them up. And also I'm getting to fill it up with things like preparing for an audition and unpacking, which is like a home task, and doing the laundry and whatever else. Like, there's all these tasks that I just feel like I've got more time for, which is great. And I've even been able to swap some shifts because I now can swap shifts because I've got the wiggle room for it. So I'm not giving up any holiday, but it's all during the time that my mum is here, hopefully. So I can hopefully spend some more time with her. And I'm just waiting to find out if I'm getting the May bank holidays off. And once I know that, I will then let my mum know all the days I'm actually off, so that hopefully we can plan some nice things. Anyway, I'm just talking because I need something, but I'm going to do this script and I don't know if I'll see you again tonight. Maybe I'll pop in to let you know how I'm going, or otherwise I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. Hello. Welcome to day 2 of dealing with jet lag. It's not been terrible. I did go to bed at like 11ish last night, so slightly earlier, maybe half an hour earlier than I normally would, but really very, reasonable. And then this morning I woke up at 6:30, so still again a bit earlier than I'm used to, but I'm not going to complain. Having such a long morning is actually wonderful. I don't see myself changing my life to get up early, but if it happens naturally, I'll take it. And Wayne was also awake early and had the cleaning bug when he woke up. So we did some cleaning between us. And as you can probably see, we've cleaned the bed, we've put everything in the laundry. I'm hoping it's ready from the washing machine before I go for the audition, so that I can at least put it in the dryer, because our dryer takes hours, so that hopefully it's ready by the time I get back. In my head, I've had it all this time that I need to leave home at 12, but I actually think, I need to double check, but I think maybe I need to leave home at 1, which is quite, nice and not nice. I don't like waiting, but equally it gives me a little bit more time to do things that I want to do, including going over the script again. And I want to have breakfast and I want to shower, and I may as well clean a bit more. There was something I said I would do if I had time, and I'll try and get that done if I can. So yeah, we'll see. This is such a strange audition and I really don't know what to expect. I'm not even 100% sure which character I'm auditioning for, which is so strange. I think I know, I'm pretty sure I know, but I just, not 100%. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to being in a space and performing. I also really desperately need to do some editing, because the thing is, I'm not prioritizing vlogs at the moment because I'm filming this in April and my next vlog I think doesn't go up until mid-June. And I've got other videos, I've got my whole singing series that I need to deal with in May. But the problem is that the vlogs take up the most amount of space, and at the moment my computer's not telling me off yet, but I think it's gonna come soon, and also my camera, so I really need to get on that, but also on the singing ones, so I'm just it's gonna be fine, I'm not worried really, but I do feel like I need to just get into it. I also have no idea how long this audition's gonna be, so I don't know what time I'm gonna be home, but theoretically I should have some time when I get home to edit, because Shabbat doesn't come in until, actually Shabbat comes in at 7:45. I'm going to my grandma's at 7, but yeah, I should have a couple of hours, but we'll see. I just don't know anything at the moment. I'm gonna check the audition time. If I only need to leave at 1, I'll do some cleaning first. If I need to leave at 12, I'll go through the script first, then I'll have something to eat, and then I will shower, change, get myself ready, makeup on, all that. I'll document bits and bobs, but not loads. I definitely won't take you with me, just because I can't. And I will respond obviously when I get back how it went. But yeah, that's the plan for today so far. I'll keep you posted. Hello, it is 11:30. I have transferred the laundry into the dryer, which is good. I've cleaned all the surfaces I wanted to clean, and I've gone through the script. So I'm feeling really good. I'm now going to have some food, and then I will probably start getting ready, I reckon. I mean, I've got plenty of time, but I'd rather start getting ready earlier, because I also still want to shower. So yeah, let's have fun. Hello. It's just gone 12:30 and I'm completely ready. I've got my bag packed, I've got the clothes on, the makeup on, the jewellery on, and I'm more or less ready to go. So I'm just gonna twiddle my thumbs for the next half hour and then I will leave. It's literally only in the moment when I thought, okay, I'm ready to go, that I started getting nervous. I've not been nervous up until now, but suddenly I'm like, oh, I'm shaky. My hair is a choice. This is very much a choice. I had intended to go hair down, but I just put it up for the shower. And when I came out of the shower and started getting ready, I thought, actually, that could work for this, I think for this character. It's kind of like a messy bun, but controlled, I feel. So I think I'm gonna try it. I feel like I'm trying a lot of things. This dress, as I mentioned yesterday, that's also new for me. And even these earrings, I don't know, it feels different, but I do feel good. So hopefully it'll be okay in the audition room. But yeah, I'm just gonna try and unwind until I need to go in half an hour, and I will speak to you when I get back. Hi, I'm back. I think it went really well. I'll discuss it in a bit more depth in a moment, but I've literally just come in and I thought, let me go through what's in my audition bag, because I went through it last time, a while ago, but obviously each audition is slightly different, so let's see what I brought today. First of all, I had a coat with me, and I've also got my phone and my Oyster in my pockets, but then, I'm not going to show you the front of this, but she actually gave us a script, which is very cool, so I'm going to keep this, and hopefully get to use it in a couple of months, but we'll see. I always bring a pencil case. You want to make sure you've got something to write with, something to highlight with. I did think there was a chance she'd give us a script, so I wanted to be able to highlight lines if I needed to. Trusty water, which is running low, and I was worried I wouldn't have enough, but we made it. My own notebook, this was more just if I was waiting or whatever. I just like to have it, or if I had to make any notes. I ended up putting some notes in the actual script, but just always useful to have with you because you don't know if you'll get something to write with. I mean, I suppose some people use phones, but I prefer not to, especially in an audition. Then for this one, I brought my iPad because, as I said, she'd given us the whole script, and rather than print it all out myself, I had it highlighted and notes on it on my iPad. I use Notability, highly recommend, although I think I got it for free and I'm pretty sure nowadays you have to pay for it. I don't even know if it still exists, to be honest, but it's a great platform. And finally, some mints, which I didn't end up using, but I could just feel as I was leaving like I might want one, and I didn't need it, but always good to have with you. So let me just tell you while I put these things away, how it went and what happened. I felt it was really good. There was just me and one other person, and I'd been told that they were going to be one name, and actually I'd seen their spotlight link as well, so I knew what they looked like. And while I was waiting, I couldn't see the person was going to come meet us. Anyway, finding the place was a bit crazy, but I got there, and I did again get there 10 minutes before the 15 minutes before that I was asked to be there, and there was someone else who kept looking at me, and I just thought like maybe she's also involved, but she does not look like the picture at all. Anyway, it got to like 1:50 and I was still looking around and sort of semi-making eye contact with this other person, and it turns out that they were also auditioning and this other person that I knew about wasn't, apparently, we don't know, or maybe on another day, that's obviously neither of us knew. And so we got chatting, and then maybe another 5 minutes after that we met the director. And then we spent a bit of time trying to find the right room, but we found it, or we found a room anyway. And we started off, I think, just chatting, but not for very long. We then went to read a bit of the script, just like a scene where, you know, I read one part, the other person read another part, and then the director read the rest of the parts. And we were just sat at a table, like we didn't get up or do it or anything, which I did think was odd, and I definitely feel like the lines that I was then reading, I forgot to like properly act. I did act with my voice, but like physically I wasn't giving it anything, I think. But we had some other opportunities. We then chatted a bit more, I think. And then the director said, do you want to sing something for me? And both me and the other person were like, okay. Like there is some singing in this play, but I guess neither of us had prepared for it. And so she said, just sing whatever. So I sang a bit of Come to Your Senses because I trust that one. Although I actually think I messed up the lyrics and stuff, but it doesn't really matter. I think vocally, I did quite well. I actually thought the room would have pretty bad acoustics, but then when I was singing, I felt like it did carry my voice, so that's good. And then I think we went and we chatted a bit more, and then we found a monologue each. Luckily, we were auditioning for 2 different characters, so we found one for each of us, and I started with that and did mine. And first I did it the way that I just thought to do it, and then the director gave me some directions, and I think I took them on board, I hope. And then she gave me some more directions, and again, I tried to adapt that. And then I sat down, and she did tell me that I had a good vocal range, even in speaking tone, so that's really good, because I think that's nice feedback to have. And then the other person went, same thing, gave some feedback, whatever. And then we chatted a little bit more, and that was it. I don't think I felt nervous in the room really, which is good. Or maybe bad, I don't know. But I do feel like it was a good audition. And now we just have to wait and see. If I get a call back, we'll see, and then if I get the part, obviously. But I presume I won't mention it again unless there's good news. So it's now almost 4 o'clock. I need to do an hour of work, but I also want to sing. Maybe I'll sing first, because I'm not leaving until like 6:45. So I could do an hour of singing, that would bring us to 5, and then an hour of work, that would bring us to 6. And then I still have 45 minutes, plus I'm already dressed. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. I'll see. I don't know. And I don't know if I'll see you again. I probably will, but anyway, I should probably also eat something. Anyway, I've got some messages, I've got some things to look at. I'm gonna go. Bye. Hello, I need to leave in a couple of minutes. I'm just popping on my watch. I feel like I've had a super productive day in general. Maybe this morning slightly less, but overall it's been great. And I've done loads since I got home, which is also great. I did try to start editing a vlog, when I finished my work. And I really thought it was going to be okay, and then it really wasn't. So I've saved up to a certain day, and then I'll work on it another time, maybe on Sunday. But that's a bit annoying. I really don't like doing a vlog because it doesn't always save properly, and then I end up having more work for myself. So fingers crossed it's all okay this time. And it is good to have at least made a dent, because I've edited a good dent of it. But I'd rather just have edited all of it. I also went to check on the laundry and it's still not dry. So I've taken one thing out, but I've left one more thing in, which also means I can't make the bed yet, which is annoying. I also had some stuff I wanted to take to my grandma's, which I've now put in a bag. But I also was going to bring flowers. I bought flowers because it was also her birthday while we were away. And then she messaged me like 10 minutes after I got the flowers to say, please don't bring flowers. And I said, well, I have already bought them. Would you like them, or would you like us to keep them? And she said, no, please keep them yourself. So we've currently got both vases in use, but one can easily be moved. I just haven't had the time to do that, but that'll be fine. And then also, while I was editing the video, a reason why I didn't get as far as I wanted to is that I got some feedback from today's audition, which is amazing. It's so rare to get any contact after an audition, let alone feedback. And it's just kind of had me thinking like, oh, is this good or bad? I think it's good though. It sounded mostly positive, so fingers crossed. But yeah, there were a couple of back and forth emails. So yeah, just exciting, but also like, But anyway, it's Shabbat now, so we're going to switch off, we're going to calm down, we're going to get our shoes on, get our coat on, and go and enjoy a lovely evening with my grandma, who I haven't seen yet since I've been back. And then tomorrow, I'm not sure tomorrow's going to be super relaxing because Wayne's got a friend coming over, but it'll be fine. I feel like I've gone from 100, and then now when I go to my grandma's, it's suddenly going to be 0. Not that it'll be 0, obviously I'll help with like dishes and whatever, but like in terms of my mind has so many things it wants to do right now, and I'm going to have to fully switch off for the next 25 hours, which is a good thing. But I just feel like I'm not quite ready, but it's going to be okay. I need to leave now, so I will go, and I will speak to you maybe tomorrow night, maybe Sunday, maybe another time, who knows. Bye!